Ready? Burn!
Hello everybody, welcome to Chief Pigskin TV, a personal football blog, and I'm here with Barry Creviston, new head football coach of Johnsburg Skyhawks in Johnsburg, Illinois, where I actually was coaching before I came to my new current job anyway. But it's great to catch up with you because you yourself were a small school coach before you came to Johnsburg. Tell us a little bit about where you were and how you ended up here.
Well, I was in Jacksonville, Illinois, Jacksonville route for 6 years. We ended up having a nice little run down there, and my wife is from Wheaton, Illinois, so we decided to change jobs and look somewhere north, and we ended up coming almost to Wisconsin. So we ended up here, and we had a great year this year, 8-4, made it to the quarterfinals, best in school history right now. So hopefully it's a good start, and we'll continue on from there.
Well, I'm very happy for you, and it was I was watching online, I know, on McHenry County Sports, your quarterfinal game, and pulling for them Skyhawks. I'm curious to know, what, if any, as you come from a small school to a bigger school, and there are many different opinions on this, and did you make any changes in your summer preparation as you got ready to go, and maybe you had done this at route? Did it ever cross your mind, do I need to do something differently at Johnsburg because it's bigger? And then did you do anything differently? How'd your summer, how'd you treat that?
Well, when I first came here, you know, the first thing that you have to do is get to know the kids. So the first thing I did was I put together a nice summer schedule where we would meet for our 25 days, and we did a lot of 7-on-7. We did a lot of we did 2 team camps here at the school. We didn't go away anywhere, and those were basically some of the same things that I had carried over from Jacksonville route. You know, the kids were very familiar with what they were going to get every summer, and I think they enjoyed the fact knowing this is when I can go on vacation, this is when coach is going to have a summer schedule, summer camp. We ended up going this past summer, we went to 4 big tournament 7-on-7s, had a lot of success there. Had the 2 team camps, like I said, and the kids really picked things up. The biggest struggle is, you know, you're not playing any games, full contact games, and you know, the seniors who haven't had a different coach before, you know, they still didn't know till that first Friday in August whether or not this guy knows what he's talking about or not. But we did have a lot of success over the summer, and I think that really helped, and that just helped them familiarize themselves with me, my coaching staff, and also get them ready for the season.
Well, great. Let's talk schemes. I have a good friend that coaches at a real big school, and he and I were talking on the board. He's a spread guy, and I'm an option guy, you know, so we're different on the opposite ends of the spectrum here, and you're a spread guy as well.
Correct.
So we're opposites, but so he and I are talking football, and he shows me this great screenplay he's got. And he says, Nate, this play is great on the goal line. And I kind of chuckled, and I said, the one place I will not be running a screen is on the 1-yard line. So we kind of had our differences there. But talking about offensive and defensive schemes, you ran one thing at route, had a lot of success with it. Did you think about, or did you get suggestions from others, or was there any pressure? Did you feel like you had to do something different or more since you were coming to a bigger school? How'd you approach that? Did thoughts ever cross your mind? How do you feel about that?
You know, when you come into a job, you interview and you have all your stuff, all your ducks are in a row, and you feel like you know a lot about football. And I thought everything was good. I did a lot of research on everything else, you know, that I didn't know, thinking I was going to use, you know, these different defensive schemes, offensive schemes. But when it boils down to it, you always coach what you're most comfortable with. And I brought almost to a T the route offense over here to Johnsburg, and you know, the X's and O's, they work. You know, as long as your kids believe and they get involved with what you're doing. I didn't change a lot. Probably changed some protection schemes just because I was seeing more blitzing than I would have at the 1A level. Defensively, the biggest difference was where I was seeing 90% run every week down in the WIVC and up here in the Fox Valley. You know, people did spread it out a little bit more and pass it. So we did have to go to the chalkboard a little bit for defensive schemes, but I brought in, you know, 2 really great coaches, Lou Miskowitz and Jeff Neiman, and they took the defensive side and ran with it. So it was fantastic for both of them.
Well, it's key to success of any program to have a lot of good coaches, and it's good that it's not all falling on you. So it's great to hear, and I think that I've found some of the same things as I think about when I watch the bigger schools play, maybe the state championship games, and I try to take those things in consideration What are they doing that's different than maybe some of the smaller schools are doing? Let's talk about any other challenges that as you came in to take over this job. Were there any challenges that this school presented to you as a program, maybe even as a teacher, that you hadn't had at Route?
I think we just touched on it. You know, the coaching aspect. One of the major concerns was I didn't know anybody. In Jacksonville, I went to college at McMurray College, and you know, I knew a lot of people in the area, so I had a lot of people that I could lean on, hey, for information on this coach or that coach, and I even knew people who wanted to help out at Route Catholic. And when I came up here, you know, some of the coaches had already left, you being one of them. But you know, it took a little time for me to get to know the coaches, and that was, you know, as the kids were learning me, I was learning my coaches, and that was one of the biggest challenges that I had to deal with. Was you know, obviously you want to build your coaching staff to be, you know, the best that it can be, and you know, that's always going to be a work in progress. We're trying to get the best coaches in here, and I think we're doing a good job now. And even some of the younger guys that I have now are going to clinics and they're learning as well. So that's fantastic.
You know, I thought of one other question. You and I had talked about this before. You've got a young man graduating, CJ Fedorowicz, who's moving on and is going to have a great football career, and he's going to Iowa. And you and I talked, and you said maybe a bigger impact than losing him on the field is the impact it has on the rest of the kids that haven't played without him. I was curious to hear your take on that. You know, that how is it that affects those kids so much? What are you seeing from them? How do you think? Are you encouraging them that, you know, we play football a certain way? It's not about one person.
Correct.
How do you handle
I think the biggest change coming in was the fact that, you know, everybody said, you know, CJ's all we have, and I think what we did was we pared him back a little bit, and the touches he did get were more important touches. Instead of getting him the ball 80 times a game, we got it to him 50 times, and you know, he scored more touchdowns than he did in the past 3 seasons. You know, so I think the kids saw that it was more of a team game this year, and it wasn't just a one-man show. And I think, you know, next year when he's gone, they'll know that the pieces are still in place. That it's not just a one-man show, and it's a team game, and it's the ultimate team game. Football is. So, like I said, ask me next year how we did. But you know, this group coming up has a lot of smart kids and a great bunch of leaders. So it'll be interesting to see how they step up. And this is the first. These guys have never not had CJ on their team. So I think it'll be nice to see who steps up and becomes the next guy on the football team. So that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, well, it is. It's an opportunity for someone else. Well, thanks for joining me. Best of luck to you here at Johnsburg and competing in the FVC. And hopefully we see you guys. I get to watch you a lot more in McHenry County sports if you're making deep runs in the playoffs.
Appreciate it. Thanks for coming by. It's a pleasure to be here, and I enjoy the website.
All right, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Ready?